Hey everybody, this is Greg Gossett from Gossett Trading and Mentoring Live, and today is Thursday, February 27th, 2020. We again find ourselves in the final hour of the trading day. As I mention each day, in my opinion, the best prices, the most valid prices to make your buying and selling decisions from are the closing prices of the day. That's because during the day, you have the day traders and the algorithms in control of the market, moving the market around. I consider it mainly noise, as at the end of the day, the large financial institutions step in with size. In the last hour, in particular, the last few minutes of the day, and they take the control of the pricing away from the day traders and the algorithms because they're dealing with size. And I believe that they have a better grasp or have the best grasp on what the most valid prices would be. So I tend to do the majority of my buying and selling at the end of the day following the large financial institutions of what they're doing. That being said, last few weeks I have been doing some day trading. The market's been volatile. There's been a lot of movement intraday, and I think it was a good idea the approaches that I use, the setups that I use, they're robust, meaning they should work on any market and any time frame. So, and they have proven that they have the day trades. I've actually done better with my day trades over the last couple of weeks than I have my normal trades. But I did have one day trade today on Apple that I'll share with you. So, okay, well, boy. What another day. I mean, this is insane. It feels, like the world's ending here. At least that's what the market is saying. Currently, the Dow is down 857 points. NASDAQ is down 287. NASDAQ is down over 3.23%. Unbelievable. S&P is down 92%, down just under 3%. So it's going to be really interesting to see where this market closes today. I think it'll be very telling. Of course, the market's been scared by the coronavirus. Seems like it's getting a foothold here in the United States. So anyway, we honestly don't know what's going to happen. It could get better. It could get worse. Really, all you can do is follow your signals, follow the price action instead of your opinions of what you think is going to happen. So easier said than done. I realize that for sure. So okay, well, listen, let's say hello. We have Kamal here. Hey, Kamal, good to see you. Chatted with Kamal earlier. Zach is here. Hello, my friend. Good to see you. Marco, good evening, Marco. Hope you're having a good evening there in Sylvania. Steve Burns, good to see you, my friend. Thank you, as always, for coming by, everything that you provide for us, all the content, and, you being here in the chat is always exciting for me as well as everyone else. Steve says the market correction is official. 10% from the highs. So yes, when you have a 10% from the high, that is considered a correction. If you go 20% from the high, that's considered a bear market. Deanne, hello Deanne, nice to see you, my friend. I got your pictures. Thank you very much. I haven't had time to reply, but beautiful pictures of your dogs. Deanne's my kind of person, loves dogs. Bob, hey Bob, how you doing? Good to see you. Andrea, whew, what a day. I agree, Andrea. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for coming, Sats. Hello, Greg and everyone. Hello, Sats. Good to see you. Glenn says, hi, Greg. Was hoping today would be the flush out low, perhaps end of month. Tomorrow will be the day. Yeah, it looks pretty good early on. I mean, we were way down. We rallied way up, but we've come back down the entire rest of the day since then. Mount Doji, how you doing? Good to see you. Hey, Jesse. Good to see you, my friend. I was looking at SPCE today, and I think you're happy where you got out. Christopher, good evening. Good to see you. Hope you're having a nice evening in UK. Gamer Squad, hey, good to see you, David. Nice to have you. Hello to Denver. William, hey, what's going on? Hope you're having a nice day in Hawaii. Say hello to Cooper. Joe Turner, hello, Joe. Good to see you. Appreciate you being here as always. Steve says fastest correction in the Dow Jones since 1993 and fastest NASDAQ correction since the early 1970s. I mean, think about that, everyone. Fastest correction in the Dow Jones since 1933. That is back during the Depression, the Great Depression, and fastest NASDAQ correction since the early 1970s. Did you notice that we bypassed 2008, 2009? We've actually gone down quicker, faster than we did in 2008, 2009. So Interesting times, everyone. Just let's remember we're focusing on capital preservation here. That's most important, more important than making money. I mean, there's some pretty good confluence of signals down here at the moment, but let's wait and see what happens with these before we do anything too crazy. All right. Andrea, down goes the elevator, 100%. Christopher says that's because of the trading bots. Well, we shall see who wins in this last hour between the trading bots and the large financial institutions at the end. So definitely should be interesting. Oh boy. All right. Well, listen, here is the plan for today. As usual, we're going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer, going to come back, take a look at my current positions, talk about when I bought them, why I bought them, how I'm going to manage them moving forward. After that, we'll take a look at a few positions that a couple of you have and a couple other stocks that I think are interesting. After that, we're going to do a few minutes on trader psychology. And boy, if there was ever a time for trader psychology, it is this week. A lot of fear and greed and conflicting thoughts I'm sure we all have in our heads here. But we'll do a little bit on that. Hopefully that will help. After that, I have gone through my watch list already. I've identified a few potential entries at the end of the day here. I look for three things when I look to enter a position. One, make sure we have a confluence or a combination of indicators. I look at each indicator as a group of buyers, and you can dramatically increase your chance of having a successful trade if you're in the company with as many other buyers as possible. And so I like to look for a confluence or a combination of indicators, or another way to say a confluence or a combination of other buyers. Step two, make sure you have a good risk to reward ratio. I want to make sure I can at least make 2 times on my money to the upside compared to what I'm losing on the downside if I have a bad trade. And step three, correlation. Correlation, very important today, I might add. When we go through my potential entries here, depending how the market closes, we could have a handful of potential ones. But basically most of these stocks are going to go up and down together, so we have to keep that in mind, right? So anyway, so that's that. If you have any questions, if you need me to clarify anything today, let me know. If you'd like me to take a look at any particular stock symbols, please let me know. Happy to do that. And then if there are any stock symbols you'd like me to take a look at and get my opinion on before the market closes, if it's time sensitive, put them in the chat, but make sure you put a star by them so I know that they're time sensitive. Otherwise, I'll cover them at the end of the day. So, all right, well, that's the plan. Buckle in tight. It'd be interesting to see how this market closes, right? So I'm going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer, and I'll be back in about 40 seconds. So hang tight. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Please carefully read and/or listen to the U.S. government required disclaimer before watching this video or live stream broadcast. The video link and disclaimer text are located in the description section of this video or live broadcast, here and here. Thank you so much. Okay. All right. Well, listen, let's go through my positions here. We'll talk about when I bought them, why I bought them, how I'm going to manage them moving forward. All right. World famous SPY trade. We go over this every day, but quickly in case we have some new viewers. I don't know what happened to my SPY trade. Hold on. Here we go. All right. So just real quickly. I do buy the SPY every day at the close of the market. I sell it first thing the next morning. I do this not based upon technicals or any kind of resistance or support. I base this on a long-term back-tested study from Liz Ann Saunders at Bespoke Invest on Twitter. This back test is from 1993. They've tested 2 approaches. Since 1993, approach number one was buying the SPY at the open each day, selling it at the close each day. So buying in the morning, selling in the afternoon. If you did this every day since 1993, you'd have actually returned a negative 13.9% return for all your troubles. However, if you do the opposite, which is what I do, and buy the SPY at the close each day, sell it first thing the next morning, do this every day, buy the close, sell the next morning, buy the close, sell the next morning, you've actually returned 634.2% return. So huge difference in when you buy it and when you sell it. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. That is true, and that goes for any trading approach. But if I'm going to allocate capital towards something, I want to allocate it towards something that has a good back-tested record, like the buying in the afternoon, selling in the morning. You can see this chart, the equity chart, since 1993 using this approach is really good. There's ups and downs in it. As a matter of fact, I'm going through a little down period right now with this, but you have to look at the big picture, not just the short-term picture. In the big picture, this has worked out very well. It gets frustrating even when it's 3 or 4 days down like it has been. Well, actually it hasn't been that much, has it? Actually, we've had a couple days there, but look at it, the bigger picture. Yesterday was my 1-year anniversary of using this approach, and nicely profitable. There's rough patches, there's times where it just doesn't seem like it works, but the back test, at least to right now, doesn't mean in the future, but so far the back test has worked for whatever reason since 1993. So I am definitely sticking with it. Okay, that being said, I did buy the SPY here yesterday at 311.50 and sold out this morning for a whopper at 305.40. So that was a big hit overnight, no doubt. Actually, the last 2 days were positive. Close, open, then we had that big monster there. So yeah, big loss for sure. So anyway, that's how it goes. Long term though, this has still been nicely profitable, but we've run into a monster. I don't think I've ever seen the market go so quickly from over, in the 70 RSIs down to the 30. I mean, with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 7 days, unbelievable. This is historic, just like Steve Burns says. I mean, there's only been a couple times in history that it's done this. So lucky us, right? So, all right. That's the SPY. Well, I have to say I was pleasantly surprised this morning when I got up and I saw Pfizer. I did buy Pfizer here yesterday at 34.80. Currently it's 34.75, down slightly, but I did hit 3 profit targets on this today. Amazingly, I thought my eyes weren't seeing right when I saw green. So I did take off 3 positions here, 3 profit targets here, here, and here, right near the top. So I'm very thankful for that. I will be holding this still unless we close below the 30 RSI. All right, oil. Well, I got a little lucky on oil. I was telling Kamal this earlier. I did buy this yesterday when we had a double bottom with a bullish divergence, meaning we have deep MACD bars here, we rally, we go lower, we don't even have any red MACD bars. This is a bullish setup as far as how Dr. Alexander Elder teaches this, double bottom, bullish divergence. But I do not put in my stop losses, my 5% emergency stop. I don't put those in the system because I have orders above and it doesn't let me do this both. So anyway, I woke up this morning, and when I woke up, it was right about where it was. And so it had hit my 5% stop, but it had bounced right off it. So, I have a couple options here. I could just go ahead and sell it, but it did bounce off that 5%. So I just decided to hold this. Now, look, if it goes back down here by the end of the day, I will definitely definitely sell it there for the emergency stop the second time around. If it closes above 30, of course, I would keep it, but most likely this will not close above 30, but this is just one of those fortunate mistakes where I did not have the 5% in. So as long as it either goes down to here, 966, that will be my 5% stop, or at the end of the day, I will get out of it regardless because it's closing under the 30 RSI, because yesterday it went under 30 and over 30 as well. So only thing I can say here, I'm glad I took a half a position. right? Same with Pfizer. I only took a half position on this as well because it was under the 200-day. Okay, so that's that. Apple, I did have a nice little trade on Apple today. It was on the 5-minute chart. Where was my entry? Okay, here was my entry. Really, this 5-minute chart's on Apple. We closed above the 1 ATR channel. We came back down into the value zone. We held for a couple days here, basically. Here's day one, day two, washes out day one, closes above day one's close. That was my entry. My stop would have been a close in the coming bars of halfway, but it moved up. It moved up nicely. Here it went up, came back down, closed below the 50 RSI. So I was in this trade for 5, 10, 15 minutes. I got in at 279.50 and got out at 281.60. So $2.10. So, you know, that's really nice. You know, it's really nice. And then it moved up a lot after I sold it, but you know, then it came down here. So anyway, $2.10, pretty good within 15 minutes, and didn't have to expose myself very long. After that, you can see it's gone way down, but it's had a nice rally here as well. So those are the trades. Just a couple of note, you know, not making fun of this person at all. He's a good friend of mine for like 25 years. He bought mRNA here yesterday, right at the close, right at about $29. He called me, and it was up here about almost $36, and he told me about how much money he made. And I'm like, great. Next thing I look, well, it's off its low now. Next thing I looked, it was down 10%. So unbelievable, right? I mean, what a huge, you know, to gap up this much and then to give it all back. So this is Moderna. This is the company, I think, that's working on possible coronavirus vaccine, but boy, that's all it had at the top of the day there. Here is Space. Look at this, down almost 20%, was down much lower than that. Just want to congratulate Jesse for having a 100% move on Spice and getting out here. That was definitely the right move. And Deanne had a nice trade yesterday, 100% on, I can't remember the signal now, but any update on that, Deanne? Did you do anything with that? All right, what else do we have? We have Nokia. Murat bought Nokia way back here. He is up on the trade still. He bought it at $395. A couple days ago, it did barely go under, had a huge rally, and then back under again today, but did bounce off. So it looks like he did buy in the right support area. And then Deanne still has Twitter. This has not acted very well the last few days, but you know what has in a market like this. So I think Deanne's stop on this one is under 30 RSI. Joe Turner has a poem. Great, let's take a look. Joe says, you pick up your coffee and you take a sip, you play the market to buy the dip. Then to your surprise, as you take it slow, you find out that was not the low. Oh man, is that apropos for today? Joe, thank you so much. Such great poems. You and Frank have such great poems. Oh, I forgot to post the poems, yesterday's poems. Okay, I will definitely do that today. Frank, good to see you. Frank has a poem. What shall I do? What's it all about? You now see rules. Don't. Okay, I'm gonna start over. What shall I do? What's it all about? You now see rules. Don't talk, they shout. We rationalize till we realize, where did the money go? Yes, indeed, cycles are real. Just don't get crushed under its wheel. Wow, one more time. What shall I do? What is it all about? You now see rules. Don't talk, they shout. We rationalize till we realize, where did the money go? Yes, indeed, cycles are real. Just don't get crushed under its wheel. It never ceases to amaze me that these two gentlemen can write poems that not only rhyme, but have such good meaning. Fantastic. Fantastic. Thank you both. Thank you both. William, let's take a look at Win. I haven't looked at Win for a while. Oh, that's not Win. And that is not Win either. What's happening? Well, nice under 30, nice over 30, nice V1. Not bad, you know. So I think it's going to go up. I have no idea, but does it at least give you a good setup with you know, good stop areas? Yeah, I mean the 30 RSI is going to be dovetails right about the halfway here. Don't know if it's going to go up, but you know, it's a decent risk to reward for sure. RMNI. Well, look, it had a nice bounce off the 200. It had a nice V1. It's above the 50 RSI. Yeah, not too bad. We do have this resistance up here. Let's look at the weekly. Well, it's up today, Mount Doji. I mean, that's massive on a day like today, for sure. Wow. Yeah, it's not bad though. It's a higher low V1, rejected the 200. Yes, not bad at all. Andrea says, yes, I hit 3 profit targets on Pfizer today. That's excellent, Andrea, just like me. Bing He, what do you think of FTV? Under 30, over 30 V1. False breakout to the downside from here and up today. Not bad. Definitely not bad. Oh, good. Deanne sold at 106.26 gain. Wow. You and Jesse are in the 100% clubs. I forgot. What was that symbol, Deanne? Jesse says mRNA hit circuit breakers about 7 times today. Oh, I see. Steve says moving averages are both trend following signals and risk management tools. Absolutely true. And you might even make the case that they're trend lines. Steve says this is one of the best ones yet, Joe. Glenn, Etsy, Square, and ZM up big today. Yes, I did see that. I did see Etsy is up big on earnings. Square? Well, makes sense. I mean, with this Corona stuff here, you know, probably a lot more electronic payments. Up much higher earlier, down. ZM is Zoom. So I think that's teleconferencing kind of stuff. Yes, very nice today. So yeah, I think PayPal is up as well. 3M, I believe they make the Corona masks. Yeah, pretty, I mean, nice that it's up. Did it go under 30 yesterday? I think it did. Yeah, so under 30, over 30. Not too bad there either. VXRT. Oh, goodness. It's up another 50%. Well, that's how it goes. That's how it goes. But listen, you made 100%, right? You can't complain about that. Deanne. Oh, you wanted me to look at VXRT. Okay, this is not what you had. It was, that's right. CODX is up another 72%. Oh my goodness, this is insane. It's insane, everybody. Well, again, dang. Yeah, well, there you go. Who would have saw that coming, huh? Andrew says, Deanne Christensen saw some guy post on Twitter last night that he blew up his entire account with CODX. Oh, boy. Yeah, that's sad to hear. That's sad to hear. So listen, today is the time of the day where I do like to concentrate on trader psychology. I have a double header today because both of these posts kind of dovetail with each other. And this is from our friend Stephen Burns, of course, in the chat right now. Famous author, trader, all-around great guy, posts some really great content. But Steve says, in trading, to be wrong is a mistake, but to stay wrong can become a disaster, right? And it is true. But I do want to talk about the word mistake. And here's our other friend of the channel, Thomas Payne at Trader T Payne on Twitter. Speaking about mistakes, I'm not sure I would use the word mistake. And Thomas says, you must put context behind the word mistake in trading. Many traders call losing trades mistake, but you must not confuse a losing trade with making the wrong decision. A perfectly executed trade can become a losing trade, but it was not a mistake to take the trade, and that's a big thing. You can have a good setup that does not work, right? I wouldn't call that a mistake. I would just call that okay. Identified support, I position sized correctly, the price action told me to take the trade, and I took the trade and it lost. It doesn't mean it was a mistake. It means it turned out to be a losing trade, but it doesn't mean it was a bad bet, right? Trades that don't work out for you, if you're trading correctly, are good bets that just didn't work out. Sometimes you have bad bets that work out, right? So you must put context behind the word mistake. Many traders call losing trades mistakes, but you must not confuse a losing trade with making the wrong decision, right? Just because you have a losing trade does not mean it was the wrong decision to take the trade. A perfectly executed trade can become a losing trade, but it was not a mistake to take the trade. So let's circle back here to Steve's, right? In trading, to be wrong is a mistake, but to stay wrong can become a disaster. Or maybe another way to put this is, in trading, a good trade can turn out to be wrong, but to stay wrong can become a disaster. And the takeaway here is you don't know what any trade's going to do. You just pick your setups, you go with your setups if they tell you, if they make sense, but then if you're wrong, you get out. Because if you don't get out, staying wrong, that's where people blow up their accounts. I've never met anyone that's lost a significant amount of money by taking good trades, position sizing correctly, getting out when they're supposed to. But the people that you hear about, like Andrea just said, with the guy blowing up his account on Twitter, well, he probably stayed, I guess he was short. He stayed short and he probably had too large of a position size, and that's what becomes a disaster. So thank you so much, Steve. This is Steve's Twitter is at S. Joseph Burns on Twitter, and this is a Facebook page here. Also, if you're on Facebook, New Traders, Rich Traders is a really good group. And then, of course, our friend Thomas Payne at Trader T Payne. I would highly suggest subscribing to both. So, all right, let's move this over here. We've got a lot to go through here today. Okay, Glenn says Amazon filled the gap, adding a small buy at 1900. Okay. So it's down 3.72%. Oh boy. Let me take a look here real quick at something. Okay, we're down 800 points. All right. Okay. Anthony, hey buddy, good to see you. Anthony says, hey all, on the trading floor in a fast market, there was a trader who would yell, all dinghies back to the shore. Do you think small traders should wait for calmer waters? Well, my opinion is you wait for the setup that you've identified. You position size correctly, you take the trade, and you follow the price action. If you're wrong, hopefully you get out wrong small, and if you're right, you possibly have a big win. When volatility gets high, I hate to pick and choose the time that I'm in the market, honestly. I just try to I don't try to time it like which which ones which approaches and setups that I take and which ones that I don't. You know, the filter that I might have with huge volatility, like I mentioned yesterday, is just taking a half a position instead of a full position, because with the market moving so large, taking a half position is about the same feel as taking a full position in a calmer market. Steve says, I agree with Thomas. The context of mistake was trading based upon an opinion and then not admitting wrong. Right. Taking your signals are never a mistake. I should have worded it better. Oh, no problem. I just thought it was a good example of kind of defining the word mistake. Mount Doji says PFE below 30 RSI. Yes, it is. I might have to get out of that. I'm just glad I had the 3 profit targets today. Anthony, not enough lifeboats just when they yell iceberg. Steve Burns says VIX is highest since Christmas of 2018. Oh, I remember those days. You remember? Christmas Eve, I think we had a 1,000-point down day, which seems epic, but now it doesn't seem that epic, being that we're down 800 points also. Okay, well, look, let's get to it. Probably have a lot of things to contemplate today. I'll show you what I have on my radar. So I do have Apple. Oh, that was my intraday trade there. All right, Apple is currently at a 29.96. So if Apple closes above 30, I will take a crack at this. I will take a crack at buying Apple. Earlier it was back over 30 and over the 100-day, which I liked even better. So I'm not sure. We're just going to have to see how this one goes and watch this at the close. Caterpillar was stronger earlier, but now it is not. So that's probably off the board. Facebook did reject the 250-day moving average under 30, over 30. So this is a possibility. Google does not even look close. I did this earlier in the day. Goldman Sachs does not even look close. Lockheed Martin was much stronger earlier, but not now. MasterCard, I considered taking MasterCard yesterday, so I'm definitely glad that I did not. We had this nice bounce off of the 200-day moving average, which is good. We did reject the 30 RSI above us already, so now that 30 RSI that used to be support is now resistance above us. So I don't think I'm going to do anything here with MasterCard. Nike, everything's sold off here again. It's under the 200-day. Lost the 30 RSI. PayPal is positive today. It is above the 30 RSI. It is technically a V1. It gapped down, reversed back up. Technically right now the close is above yesterday's close. Did we go under 30 today? Looks like we bounced right at about 30. We'll leave it up on the board. Boy, the Qs were looking really nice earlier. We went under the 30 RSI. We went under the 100-day. If this closes above the 100-day here, as well as closes above the 30, that would be one of my best setups here today as far as risk to reward. Similar to Apple. Apple is now above 30, but it is under the 100-day, where the Qs are under the 30 and under the 100-day as well. So those are really the two that I'm looking at. Boy, here was SSO. Earlier it was back above the 200-day moving average, so it doesn't look like anything there. The SPY did bounce off the 200 here. Let me take these off. That was our overnight SPY trade. The only thing with the SPY here, though, is that I am gonna buy the overnight SPY trade as well. I mean, it's possible I could take 2 positions, right? Double position, one for the rejection of the 200 and one just for the regular overnight trade. So we'll watch that one. I do like UNH, I gotta say. We went under 30, over 30, rejected the 250 day, rejected the 200 day. This is, this is about as good as a deep dip buy looks when you go under 30, over 30, bounce and close above both the 250 and the 200. So I'll definitely be keeping my eye on that. I told you what happened with oil here. I wasn't around. I wasn't up when it hit my 5% stop. So I will very likely be getting out of this. If it comes back down, test that 5% stop again, I'll get out. But since I got up and it was above it, I was like, well, I have a second chance here, but almost 100% I'll be getting out of this trade at the end of the day. Again, very glad that I bought a half position. Look at VIX. Look at this, up 10% right up here at the 200-day. Surprising, right? That's exactly where some sellers came in. So I'm not planning on doing anything with VIX. And that's about it. Boy, is this ugly. So the candidates today that I'll be watching for very closely here on Apple. So we are definitely still way above the 200-day on Apple. Let's take a look at triple screen on this. Monthly, uptrend, weekly, in the value zone, daily, possible trigger. So it does pass the triple screen test, which I do like. Facebook, monthly is up, down. We lost the -1 ATR channel. I like Apple better, but I want to point out here that if I take the Qs, I'm not going to take Apple and Facebook because it's just too much correlation. Does that make sense? Okay. MasterCard. Nice bounce off the 200, although I don't like that it rejected the 100. I think it's going to play in between these two lines here. PayPal, we'll just have to see. Qs, again, I'm going to be watching carefully for under 30, over 30. If it closes over 30, I will take it. If not, I will not. The SPY, boy, I hated to get that out there at the open. Really glad I did at this point, right? But I will be buying that again. UNH, as long as it closes over that 30, I will go ahead and buy UNH. It has rejected the 250. It has rejected the 200. But now it's under 30. This will just be an end of game decision here for me. And oil. Tell you what, I am going to go ahead, just get out of oil right now because I have a feeling I'm going to have to be concentrating at the end. So I'm just going to get out here and feel lucky that I had a little better feel than I normally would have because I wasn't up. Boy, I'll tell you what, one thing I do want to mention right here is the key with capital preservation and keeping your mental capital together is not, we're going to have losses. Obviously, we're in a drawdown. I'm in a drawdown, of course, right? Because of what's happened with the market. The key is try to keep those losses small so that you can come back from these losses. Because at some point, if you lose so much, all of a sudden your brain switches over to oh, these are long-term trades now. I'm never going to come back from this. It's going to take me forever, right? And that's why it's so important to try to keep these losses small, position size correctly so that, yeah, you have a drawdown, but, you can come back from it. There, at a certain point, it's almost impossible to come back from. And you get to that point by having too large a position size and not really having an exact plan, because most of the time it's fine, it works out. But in something like this, then it really, really drives it down and really makes it hard to come back from this. So anyway, please just be careful. Position size correctly. Get out when you're supposed to. Use price action. Let price action be your guide, not what you think is going to happen or if we're low enough. Does that make sense? Glenn says CNN feared and greed gauge at 14, getting close to capitulation when it drops to single futures. Yeah, Glenn, was it you just a few weeks ago where the fear and greed gauge was at like 93 or something? Unbelievable. Bing, he says, took FTV at 71.12. All right. Okay. Bum, bum, bum. Okay. I have to clean something up here. This other account. So let's check out and see what's going on with the SPY. That looks like it's losing. Now we're down 920 points. Unbelievable. SPY or Pfizer looks like it's going to lose the currently right now the 30, which means I would have to get out. Oil I just got out of. And Apple is just a sick puppy right now, for sure. Frank says, reminds me of Bob Dylan's song, Everything is Broken. Yeah, it seems pretty broken. That is for sure. Mount Doji says, game. Yeah, nice V1, rejection of the negative third ATR channel, V1, under 30, over 30. Up today, interesting. Deanne, AHPT, or AHPI. Holy smokes, 294%? It went from $2 to $14? Wow. Did you have any of this, Deanne? Glenn says Facebook would like to buy at 180. Well, Facebook is holding in there. Facebook is definitely holding in, or at least above the 30, I should say. Steve says, I had a friend call and say they have to hold their 401ks in stock because it is too late to get out now. They lost all the 2020 gains in 2 days. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the markets are all down for the year. Kamal says, Steve Burns, are you buying anything today? Yeah, interesting. Are you buying anything today, Steve? Kamal, UNH below 200. Yep. Deanne, it's moving as we speak. Down 923 points. Unbelievable. All right, let's take a look back over potential candidates here. Apple is under 30 still, so if it's under 30, no buy. Facebook holding at 30. MasterCard, no. PayPal still slightly up, still holding above 30. You know, these deep dip buys, when you're just looking back on a chart, you go, oh, yeah, I would have just bought there. But in real time, scary, scary stuff. Scary, scary stuff. Q's 2802. So looks like we are definitely under 30. So no go there. Doesn't look like any trade on SPY. I'll be buying that at the end of the day for the normal overnight SPY trade. UNH battling right there. I definitely will be buying this with a close over the 200 and the 30 RSI. And oil. Okay, I got out of oil. Steve says, all the support levels I'm watching have faded in the last 30 minutes except Facebook. Visa and MasterCard look interesting. Steve Burns says KMX looks interesting. Let's look at KMX. Yep. Under the 200, over the 200, possible, or under the 30, definitely under the 30 today, over the 30. Nice confluence there with the 200-day moving average. This is just epic. I mean, it's just epic to the downside. Facebook is likely all I will buy. It holds the 30 RSI and the 250 SMA. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, right now on my list, this looks the best because Apple's under 30. Facebook at least is holding 30. PayPal, I don't like that it already just rejected the 200-day. Q's would be fantastic, but it looks like it's fading. When I say fantastic, I mean the under 30, over 30, under the 100, back over the 100. So UNH is close. Apple is close. Facebook is there already. PayPal, no. Q's just going to have to watch. AEMD. AEMD. Yep. It looks like these payment companies and some of these medical companies are doing really well. When I say really well, I mean 67% up. All right, Pfizer is still under, so that will definitely be on the chopping block. Apple's close. It's within striking distance of that 30. Facebook is there. By the way, I'm not going to take an Apple and a Facebook, right? But if one triggers and one doesn't, I will. I would probably supersede both of them with the Qs if we have a little rally into the close. UNH, I do like UNH if it gets over there above the 30. Frank says, I like cash right now. Cash has been the most profitable position for sure. We're 924 at the moment. So we have 10 minutes. Down 960 points. Jeez Louise. Wow. goodness, everybody. I mean, this is insane. Now we're down 1,000 points. Kamal has been in cash, I believe, right, Kamal? Fantastic place to be. Congrats, congrats. Look at Apple down 5.8%. This is epic, seriously. All right, let's do another little run through here. 29.49 on Apple. Facebook now under the 30. Q's does not look like it's going to cooperate. This may only be a SPY day today. Kamal says, yes, since Friday. Fantastic, Kamal. Beautiful. Frank says, this market can make a person drunk without drinking. Totally. Andrew says, it can also drive you to drink. Looks like every dip buy signal was lost for me. Nothing but overnight SPY trade. Yeah, I was just saying the same thing. Apple's lost it. Facebook would be close. PayPal, nah. Q's lost it. UNH doesn't look like either. Let's look at Apple here intraday. Oof. All right, 5 minutes to go. I'm gonna go ahead and clean up some things here. And I have to get rid of Pfizer. Get rid of Pfizer. Facebook close. Facebook close. Q's, nope. SPY, yes, overnight. And UNH doesn't look like it. Gamer says, are you taking a full position in SPY? Yes, I am. Donnie, what's going on, buddy? Greg, are you buying VIX now that it's above the 200-day? No, I'm not going to buy VIX. It's too high for me up there. But it is definitely above the 200-day. Epic. Good to see you, Donnie. Thanks for coming, my man. All right, 4 minutes. Apple's at 29.23. Q's are at 27. UNH is at 29.32. 33. Wow. This is insane. Okay, 3 minutes till close. We're down 1,100 points now. Evan says FC. Franklin Covey. Nah, I don't really see anything on Franklin Covey. I don't see anything there. It's up today, which is positive, but... All right, 8 minutes. Let's do one more check. Apple losing. Facebook, nope. PayPal, nope. Q's, nope. SPY. So it just looks like the SPY. That looks like about all. $29.50 on Facebook. Wow, 1,164 points. This is insane. Right. Well, no new trades today. Well, except for SPY. And we got filled on SPY at 297.51. Wow. 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 297.51. Okay. Pfizer started out good. Not so hot after, but grateful for the profit targets at the least. So I'll take SPY off. Apple almost down 20 bucks. Insane. Insane. 330 to 273 in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in about 10 days. So that's the only one. SPY right there. Wow. Wow, wow. How did everybody else do today? Bing He exited FTV. Yeah, closed under 30. Kamal says, Greg, after the market closes, look at the monthly chart on SPY. Okay. Yes. So what Kamal is saying here is this is what I've noticed over the years. Whenever you have a larger than one ATR move on a particular time frame, like this is on the monthly, this is larger than one ATR move that has come into the value zone. Generally, I have found when that happens, of course, not all the time, not every single time, that a majority of the time you will come back down to that lower -1 ATR channel. See how we were above the value zone? We came into the value zone with larger than one ATR. Although the monthly is not up, of course, but right now it's pretty close. That down here at the -1 ATR channel, this is where I would not be surprised to see this come down. Glenn says, bought some Amazon. At 1900. All right, well, that's a good round even number. You've got this 200 and the 100 and the 250 down here below, so hopefully that will hold. So we got Glenn back up on the board now. mRNA came roaring back at me. My stop loss kicked in, but was up quite a bit on it, but bummed to see it drop so much. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was talking about that earlier. I had a friend who called and told me how much money he made on it today, and then I looked at it, it was way down here. I was like, oh my gosh. Gamer said, I bought a half position in SPY. Okay. Gamer said, too scared to buy anything else. I don't blame you. Andrew says, I'm out of everything. Dr. Jorgen said, another difficult day. Keep the cash ready for the turnaround. And when it happens, Trumpster is not going to like this market drop. Good hike. Yes, all true. Thanks, Bruce. I will talk to you later, my friend. So, Zach, are you still in mRNA then? Oh, no, your stop loss kicked in, so I don't think you are, right? Wow, everybody, this is literally, I mean, it's epic. It's literally epic. We will remember this day or this week for a long time. I mean, look at this. Wow. Well, quite a day. So listen, everyone, let me just quickly put in my quick little plug for the day. Let everybody know that I do teach private one-on-one coaching, mentoring lessons in the evening time via Skype. I've had really good success with my clients. I love to teach. I do have a course. It's 5 sessions. Each session's between 2 and 3 hours each. I teach you everything I've learned over the last 24, 25 years now of trading. Teach you everything I've learned from my coaches and mentors like Stephen Burns and Dr. Alexander Elder and Kerry Lavorne and Larry Williams, all the things I developed and learned over the years as well. If you're interested, please let me know. I do like to have a free Skype call with a prospective student before we both commit to each other. It's free and there's no pressure. Just want to see if we're a good fit, right? And so if you're interested, you can contact me on Twitter. You can message me there, or I do have an email in the description of this video that you could contact me as well. And If you're interested, reach out. We'll set up a time. We'll talk. We'll see if it's a good fit. But I think, for the money, it is $1,000. But I do think it's worth every penny from what you learn and how to look at the markets and how to kind of have an approach, good risk to reward approaches, good entry signals based regardless on what the market's doing. Like today, right? I mean, we had a lot of potential deep dip buys here, but it didn't hold, so we let them go. So anyway, if you're interested, please reach out. It'd be nice to talk to you. And then secondly, if you like today's podcast, if you're learning something from this, from this program or this live stream, please do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button. It does help build the channel, helps grow the channel. And there's a lot of people that, could use a few rules and a few good trading principles, especially right here at this moment. So if you could do that, I would really appreciate it. Zach is out of it. Okay. Andrew says, my son just gave me a check for 20 grand, so I'm going to hoard that. Good. Jackson says, morning, evening all. Been busy watching the market. No signals for me past week, Greg. Fantastic, Jackson. Fantastic. You and Kamal, my two students. Great, right? So, this is a perfect example of why sometimes cash is the best. I mentioned a week ago that for every dollar you don't lose is what you make. So you made a lot of money by not being in the market. Glenn says, Greg, Amazon bought price was $18.98, stop $18.48, target $18.98. Will exit on any close below 200. Sounds good. Oh, $18.98. All right, let's switch it around. There we, uh-oh, now what did I do? There we go. Okay, got you down. Close under the 200. Jesse said, index is struggling to find any kind of support. Even precious metals down on the day. Crazy. Wow, yes. Was going to try and play the volatility in VIX on 224, but it would have been merely an opinion entry flat. Quad Racer. Hey, Quad Racer. Nice to see you. Thank you for coming. Hi, Greg. New trader here. Looking to learn as much as I can. Seems like I picked a heck of a time in the market to start trading. Yes, you did, Quad Racer. I mean, this is pretty epic, right? It's epic times right now in the market. And I would have to say, though, I don't know if you've had any trades or not, but as far as a little bit of a reset here with the market and a big pullback, I'd much rather have you taking trades down here now than way up here. Kamal, thanks, Greg. Between you and Mark Douglas, my trading is improved, much improved. I am able to sit and do nothing for long periods of time. Fantastic. Kamal says 50 cents is making bank. Yes, he is. He's talking about 50 cents, the option trader that bought VIX at around when it gets down in the 50-cent range. So he is kicking butt for sure. Jackson says, I like to trade, but I don't like losing money, which trumps my trading. And also it is a good time to look at risk and to improve it even more. Yes, for sure. I'm literally quite stunned at what this market has done. Jackson says, same Kamal, Mark Douglas is brilliant. 100% he is. Absolutely he is. And I might point out that, Steve Burns is the one that got me onto the end of day trading, waiting till the end of the day to make your decisions. And boy, does that pay off sometimes, doesn't it? Like today. Boy, we have Amazon here at the 200-day. Interesting to see if that will hold. That was the support last time. Whew, my gosh, is this unbelievable. Apple down 6.7%. Okay, well, Zach says, I could hear it in your voice when you started the chat today. Yeah, I know. I mean, it's pretty scary. You take this all into, because I mean, I'm kind of in shock at this, really. But thanks, Zach. Jackson says, Greg, I listened to Steve, yourself, and Chris Uhl last night on The Man Who Solved the Markets. Enjoyed. Oh, great. We're having another podcast tomorrow, Jackson, Steve and Christopher and myself. Bing He said, grateful that I exited PFE and FT at higher prices than the close price. Oh, okay, good. I'm glad to hear that, Bing He. Kamal says, thanks, Steve Burns. Kamal says, it's a free for all after hours. Is it? What's happening? Oh, yes, it is. SPY's down $1.70 already. Wow. I just looked a minute ago. It was up. Bing He says, Greg, for your phasing out, is it taught by your 3 teachers or you designed yourself? No, this is what I designed myself, Bing He. The phase out portion, the formula that I use to pick my profit targets, and then where to get out, and then how much, that I developed. Took me, I guess, over about 1.5 years to develop that. Andrew says, we might have to barricade ourselves in our house and have groceries delivered if we want to avoid the coronavirus. I know, Andrea. I know. Kamal says, good time to have a podcast. Yes. Yes. Well, it sounds like everyone made it through pretty well today. I'm just glad I got out of SPY when I did. Right there. Oh, boy. Jackson says, wow, SPY. Greg, you guys are in the U.S. and obviously the feeling about the coronavirus. How are you feeling? Well, obviously I'm just speaking for myself, but it seems to be getting more real. It seemed like it was far away in China and it didn't seem as real, but today it feels real, right? I mean, it feels like it's kind of getting internalized by people, and whether people are going to be wearing masks, or are they going to go to the gym, or having second thoughts about going to the gym. I don't know. All I can say is I'm glad I don't live in a large city, right? Being in San Francisco or something right now, it would be pretty scary. Andrew says, I noticed a lessening of traffic here in Massachusetts. It occurred to me that it could be the corona effect. It could. Should we stop trading for a few days from now on till market shows some stability? Well, again, I am going to just take my signals when I have them. I think the market probably is going to know best. And so I've just got to go off the coattails. And again, like I said, though, with volatility, wouldn't be a bad idea to maybe take a half position, something like that. But I try not to pick and choose the times that I'm in the market. I try to just, when I have the signal, take them. I got to point out, John Ferreus, who's in the chat, hasn't been in here for a bit, but he sent me an email and he suggested don't take the overnight SPY trade. And I basically wrote him back and said the same thing. I was like, look, you could be right 100%, but I just have to, I have to stick with my rules. If I don't have my rules, I don't have anything. Then everything is a discretionary trade. Well, maybe I'll take a signal this time and I won't take it next time. You see what I mean? Kamal says, I stopped the gym business, but I have 2 kids that go to school. Oh, you did stop going to the gym, Kamal. Interesting. Andrea says, Kamal, make your kids take a hot shower as soon as they get home. Oh, good advice, Andrea. Jackson says, when I have my signals, I'll take them, but I have rules to take half positions, but I do take them still. Yeah, I think that's really good. I think that's a really good policy. You know, with volatility being so high, Jackson, you know, taking a half position is like taking a full position. Kamal says, oh, they get sanitizer, soap, shower. Apparently the virus itself is not symptomatic in kids. Yeah, it does. Seems like it doesn't affect kids as much. If Dr. Jorgensen, I think he left the chat, but he was a pediatrician for 30 years. He'd probably give us some good information on that. Jackson says, but at the moment, no signals anyway. I mean, this is carnage. I mean, I literally am almost in shock about this. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Hey, John is there. John says, I'm always here. Thumbs up, everybody. No excuses. John, I was just talking about you, about the email you sent me and suggesting not taking the overnight SPY trade. You were 100% correct, my friend. 100% correct. In hindsight, I wish I would have. But like I said, you know, I try to stick with my plans. I try to do what I'm supposed to do so that I don't let my emotions or my opinions get in the way. Sat said, did you test to get confluence on SPY trade with another signal like above certain major moving average? Did you test to get confluence on SPY trade with another signal like a certain moving average? Well, you know, in my studies and from Steve Burns' studies, you know, having a confluence of signals is, in my opinion, the best way to go because you have multiple groups of buyers coming in. You know, you're going to have 30 RSI buyers come in and you're going to have 200-day moving average buyers come in. So if you can get a confluence of the 200-day and of the 30 RSI, then you theoretically have 2 groups of buyers and you put yourself in a good position for a good risk to reward ratio. You know, we don't often get the confluence of the 30 RSI and the 100-day moving average because usually by the time you get down to the 100-day moving average, you're, you know, usually at like a 40 RSI or something like that, unless you have a huge sell-off like we did here. But here, the 100 was not enough to hold Apple, and the 30 RSI was not enough to hold Apple. Bing He says, don't understand why gold also dropping. I regretted not shorting gold when I had my signal 2 days ago. Yeah, it's surprising to me. There was the other day where we went down 1,000 points. It was this day, I think. We've had so many 1,000-point drops down day. It's hard to look, but yeah, it's interesting that gold is not going up. I would imagine maybe just from, you know, not gold is safe haven, but as an actual material made for jewelry and that kind of stuff. Maybe that's why it's dropping. Sat says, I mean, not you. Consider, I mean. I'm not sure I follow. Did you test to get confluence on SPY trade with another signal like above certain major moving average? Sat says, I mean, not you. Consider, I mean. Did you test to get confluence on SPY trade with another signal like above certain moving average? Maybe you can try one more time, Sats, on the question. I don't quite understand that. Kamal says, Greg, needs a 5 to 10 moving average filter for the SPY trade. That is my gut feeling. Need to do some testing. Oh, as far as being under only taking it over the 5 or over the 10. Yeah, could be good. Could be good for sure. But like I said, I'm just using the long-term back test, which I know, you know, of course we know has drawdowns, just to make it a little bit more simple. But listen, adding that filter might be an improvement. Jackson says, Greg, can you mention the metrics? Not sure I understand what you mean there either. Jackson. Glenn says, next 2 targets for a bounce are at the gap of 29.49 or at the 00 retrace from October low. Flush overnight to 2850 would bring out Trump. Yes, Greg, can you mention the metrics around the 10% correction rule and the 20%? Oh, yeah. So whenever you have a drawdown of 10% from the highs in the market, that is considered a correction. If you have a 20% from the high pullback, that is then considered a bear market. Does that make sense? So bear market, if you have a 20% move back down from the high in the indexes, and a 10% from the highs is considered a correction. Sorry, ignore me. What Kamal said was my question. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, well, well. All right. Well, listen, on the bright side, it's a nice, beautiful day out there. I'm going to go out, do a little hiking with Katie. Now I'm considering whether or not I want to go to the gym or not, though. Jackson said, is that within a certain time or is it just how far it moves? Yeah, I don't think there's a time component. I think it's just a 10% pullback from the high, regardless of how long it takes. You're in correction territory. 20% from the high, you are in bear market territory. You know, interesting, back in December of 18, we did pull back 20% from the high. We went into a bear market, but as soon as we got there, bounced right back up. All right, everybody. Well, what a day. We will probably remember this week for a long time. Hopefully we'll be talking about this and go, remember the week, the last week in February when the world was melting down or everyone thought it was? Let's hope it doesn't. You know, I mean, aside from the stock market and everything else, let's just, hope and pray for people that, in the U.S. here and around the world, that this works out. It's scary for sure. So anyway, two things before I go. As always, please go out and try to do something nice for somebody today. Just a smile or a wave or a hello, just something, right? Just something to try to help make that other person's day a little bit better. It's free, doesn't take a lot of energy. Just a wave or a smile or hello or a hold the door open or just be pleasant, right? Really may have a nice effect on them and their day going forward. And then if you could, on the way out here, if you haven't already, and if you could remember, it just takes half a second, if you could hit the thumbs up button, I really, really would appreciate that as well. So, Dan says, thumbs up. Reminder, thank you. Andrea says, bye, everyone. Take care. Take care, Andrea. Bing He says, is this the same scenario we are experiencing in December 2018? Did you continue taking your trades? I did. Yes, Bing He, I did continue taking my trades when I had them. For sure. That was a bad month. Oh, my gosh. I remember in 2018, I had a really nice profitable year. I mean, it was a really nice profitable year. And that last month took a lot of it. But I did. I remember I had probably one of my best days of the year. I think it was the day after Christmas because I took the trade. I didn't want to, but I did. Kamal says 20% is the bottom of the first ATR on the monthly. Oh, interesting. Well, let's take a little look. from here down to, yeah, pretty close. That 20% is pretty close to combination there with the -1 ATR channel on the monthly. Thanks, Jackson. Thanks, Ming-Hee. Thanks, Kamal. Zach says, Greg, thank you as always. Not a great day, but still looking forward to this time. Appreciate everything you do. Thank you, Zach. I appreciate that as well. I appreciate you being here. Seth says, thanks, Reagan, everyone. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate it. Go out and have a nice day now. Remember to do something nice, and we'll see what happens tomorrow and see how if this continues. So, all right. Have a good one. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye. U.S. government required disclaimer. Stock, options, futures, and forex trading is not appropriate for everyone. While there is a potential for large rewards, there is also a substantial risk of loss associated with trading. The material in this video or live broadcast is not geared towards any particular individual or to any particular financial situation and is not intended to meet the particular investment objectives of any viewer. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Any and all information contained in, implied, or referenced by this video or live broadcast is not to be construed as investment advice, and no representation is made that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast is an investment or financial advisor or is registered or authorized to give any financial advice. We are publishers and educators only. Therefore, the various producers of this video or live broadcast will not accept liability for any loss or damage of any kind which may arise either directly or indirectly out of the use of any of this material, including any loss of profit. No representation is made that any account or investment will or is likely to achieve the profit or losses demonstrated. We recommend consultation with a licensed and qualified professional before making any investment decision. This video or live broadcast is not to be construed as an offer to buy or sell any security, financial instrument, or financial product of any kind. Notice is hereby given that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast or their clients may have an interest in any security, financial instrument, or financial product mentioned or referenced. Any simulated or hypothetical performance result depicted does not represent actual trading and therefore may under or overcompensate for the impact of various market factors such as lack of liquidity. Thank you.